Right now, the world is on fire. I'm not talking about the rising water temperatures or the burning forests. However, these are also alarming. When I talk about the world is on fire, I'm talking about it in a figurative sense, as we witnessed last month in COP27.
We see a crisis from all angles, whether it's about our borders, our economy, our energy, our planet, or our overall health. Problems seem to sprout out like mushrooms after torrential rain. And yet, rather than gearing up our tools and fixing the leaks of society, we point the fingers and seek despair. Rather than giving hope to future generations, we're unconsciously hiding our heads in the sand like ostriches. We wait for the problems to go away until we die, not knowing nor caring that we've made things worse for future generations by stalling.
But why would we do that?
A few months ago, I listened to Rich Roll's interview with Ari Wallach, a futurist that wishes to change the way we approach our future using a long path mindset. In their conversation, Ari introduced us to the idea of long path, a mindset that we can apply to combat short-term thinking by being future conscious. He even published a book about it, and I'll get back to you once I've read it. In any case, I'd like to tell you what I learned from their conversation. So, you see, normally our minds seek short-term solutions.
I experienced it firsthand when I had to fix problems ASAP or as soon as possible, quickly, while I was growing up in the Philippines.
No food? Let's scout for leftovers. Floods? Ugh, no problem. We'll get boats and wait for the water to subside. And that's what we did when Ondoy or Typhoon Ketsana hit the Philippines back in 2009. The aftermath? Over 10,000 homes were destroyed in the process.
Did we ever learn from our mistakes or try to do better this time around? Well, I think if you turn on the news, you can be the judge of that.
We Filipinos were known across the globe for our resilience. But how far can resilience go if it is based on short-term thinking? Anthropologists like Ari like to call this moment that we are now in as intertidal. This means that we're stuck between two planets. Remember that saying, one foot is stuck in the door? Well, intertidal works the same way. On the left are the current institutions and narratives. As you can see, these are not working to our benefit. Now, what we have here on the right are the new ways, the new solutions, but they're still underdeveloped or have yet to be born. Where we are now is in the middle. We're at that point of a wave where both high and low tides collide. In this spot, so much chaos and so much creativity takes place. Having heard Ari and Rich's conversation, it reminded me of one of the most underrated Disney films of all time, Tomorrowland. That film, featuring, George Clooney, supposedly wanted to bring hope using cliché visions of the future. What we feel nowadays is the opposite of that. In the end, not many liked that film. I mean, it had 50% in Rotten Tomatoes and 6.4 over 10 on IMDb.
How come Tomorrowland wasn't that popular? I'm guessing it must be the lack of, high impact explosions or, the adrenaline driven plots.
Other than that, the film did not become a hit because it was not dystopian enough. We love the cringy stuff because they feel more real.
While hearing Ari's philosophy, I now understand what was missing in Tomorrowland.
It lacked intergenerational empathy, something that's crucial for the long path mindset to work. This means that, rather than building a future from scratch, we need to account for and understand whatever has happened in the past. This meant going back as far as 100 years ago. or more. We cannot erase our past, nor do we want to get stuck in it, as some of us might be doing right now. Over the years, I have invested a large part of my time to understand my past. Rather than turning my back from its pain, I learned to confront them and be more compassionate with my forefathers' and parents' actions through therapy and journaling.
But what do I do with this knowledge? I can do two things. The first option would be to discard everything that I had done in the past and to start things over from scratch. From the ground up. Then I have the second option where I just accept whatever I did in the past and what I have in front of me and then just do better from here onwards. And as you might have guessed, I'm opting for the second option.
It's up to us to bridge the gap between our collective past, present, and future. We can do that by creating an emotional connection between these different timelines. Right now, we are attracted to dystopian narratives as we give in to fear. Sadly, this may become our official future, unless we're willing to change the way we do things.
In my case, to be honest, I don't like listening to these dystopian narratives anymore. I'm kind of sick of it. Just think of these gory scenarios playing over and over again in your head for years. Don't you get yourself crazy at one point?
What if we can make the world better and greener rather than having us engulfed by what Silicon Valley tells us to do? What if we can act as communities and create more resilient cities while not completely turning our backs on technology? At this point, we need to change the existing narrative, and I'd like to start this conversation here on my YouTube channel.
So in the coming months, I will be releasing a series of videos called The Long Path to Sustainability. These videos have been inspired by Ari Wallach's conversation with Rich Roll regarding the future. Now, in these videos, you will find that I will be covering different nuanced topics that might not be heard of by many of you, regarding nature, technology, and the other solutions that have been going on in the past few years but might have gone unnoticed. And so, I hope with these videos I could spark not only joy, but also hope for a better and a brighter future, not only for us, but also for the planet.